He thought he was safe behind a screen. He thought threatening my best friend with revenge porn would make her crumble. What he didn't know is that I'm an attorney, and in less than 45 minutes, I tore his entire life apart. If you've ever dreamed of watching justice crash down on someone who preys on the vulnerable, smash that like button and subscribe, because this is one of the most brutal, most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear all week. It started like too many modern cautionary tales do, with trust misplaced. My best friend isn't reckless, but she made a mistake. She met someone online who seemed charming enough. They talked. They connected. She thought maybe, just maybe, she could trust him. So she sent him some private pictures. At the time, she only knew his first name, his screen handle, the vague region he lived in, and the kind of work he did. Enough to build what felt like a foundation. But not enough to really know him. At first, everything seemed fine. They even planned to meet up when he traveled for work near her city. But then the red flags started waving. He grew pushy, controlling, and when she finally pulled back, saying she wasn't comfortable, that's when he showed his true face. He threatened her. Threatened to plaster her private pictures online, to ruin her reputation, to own her as if her dignity was his weapon. When she called me, her voice was shaking. I could practically hear her heartbeat pounding through the phone. Her words were clipped, her throat tight, like she was trying not to choke on her own panic. He said he's going to send them everywhere, she whispered. And in that moment, she felt small, trapped, powerless. But me? I felt fire. Because what this coward didn't know is that her best friend, me, happens to be a practicing attorney. And I don't scare easily. He thought anonymity would protect him, that hiding behind a username was a cloak no one could pierce. But I've spent years tearing through lies. He had no idea who he was playing with. I started with the username. Within minutes, I tracked it to a TikTok page. From there, straight to his Instagram, his actual name, his smiling face. I dug deeper. LinkedIn. Bingo, there it was. His place of work, front and center. And it matched a picture he had sent her, where he wore a polo with his company's logo stitched across the chest like a badge of arrogance. Each breadcrumb he'd left online wasn't just a clue. It was a nail in his coffin. Then I found more. A motorcycle shot he sent her, license plate crystal clear. Pictures of his workplace. Even one of his company-issued laptop screen, with his Outlook calendar wide open. Proprietary information displayed like a neon sign screaming, "Fire me." In less than an hour, I knew where he worked, who his boss was, and where he lived. At that moment, something shifted in me. This wasn't just about protecting my friend anymore. This was about justice. About making sure predators like him never get to hold power over anyone again. He wanted to scare her into silence. Instead, he woke a storm. I sat down at my computer, and I wrote an email, not just to him. Oh no, to everyone who mattered. The CO, the VP of HR, the operations manager, the public relations director, all of them. I attached everything. Screenshots of his threats, the conversations showing his username, the selfie he sent wearing company gear, the workplace gossip he spilled in messages, time-stamped and reckless. I even attached a picture of his motorcycle with a license plate visible, the one of his work laptop, exposing confidential company data and the inappropriate details about sleeping with an ex in the office. Every receipt, every shred of evidence, tied neatly in a bow. And then came the hammer. I told them this wasn't just workplace misconduct. This was a crime. That I would be forwarding all evidence to his local law enforcement and, since my client is a U.S. citizen, directly to the FBI as well. That if they had plans to send him to the United States for work, they should know that federal law enforcement would be waiting. Because I meant it. One of my old law school buddies is now an assistant U.S. attorney. And believe me, I wasn't bluffing. I hit send, and in that moment, I knew his life, the job, the reputation, the false sense of power, was collapsing like a house of cards in a hurricane. Imagine it. He wakes up to an inbox full of fury. HR demanding explanations. His CEO looking at screenshots of him threatening revenge porn while wearing their logo. Colleagues realizing he bragged about having sex in the office. Every smug smirk he ever wore in front of camera now twisted into panic. Every "you can't catch me" thought dissolved in fear. It took me 45 minutes to dismantle everything he built. 45 minutes to expose the predator he really was. That's the beauty of justice. He thought he could hide in shadows. But the truth doesn't stay buried. Not when someone's willing to drag it into the light. And while I can't disclose every detail of what happened next, let's just say, when you threaten to weaponize someone's vulnerability, you don't just risk getting caught. You guarantee it. He lost his anonymity, his job, his future career, and soon, his freedom. Because when you cross a line this dark, karma doesn't knock. It kicks the door in. When people think of revenge, they imagine shouting matches or fists flying. But the most powerful revenge? It's calm. It's calculated. It's the kind that takes someone's threats and turns them into their undoing. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen someone pull off? And don't forget, subscribe for more stories where karma doesn't just come knocking, it kicks down the damn door.